friends, today we are going to discuss about mental health care during pandemic. Myself, Dr. Suresh Kadamman, Professor of Psychiatry and also Head of Telemedicine Center, Nimans, Bangalore. Coronavirus infection pandemic has caused severe panic among the general public. This video is going to help you to understand how to control this panic. Basically, you have to understand this kind of pandemic causes severe panic. And this panic is a normal reaction to an abnormal situation. See, most of the people across the world do react, and this reaction is very common. Being panic, being anxious, having panic attacks, having breathlessness, unable to sleep. These are all the common reaction to the abnormal situation. So no need to worry. And please continue to see this video to understand how to take care of your mental health during this pandemic. First and the foremost, the general public need to minimize the exposure to the media. The media has amplified the effect of coronavirus on the population. Of course, the media has sensitized the people. I would rather say it has over-sensitized the people. And now the media has to play a responsible role in providing positive information, amplify the positive effect and hopeful stories that will minimize the effect of mental health on the public. At the same time, the public also should know this media actually sensationalizes the various coronavirus infection. So as much as possible, try to take break and find authentic information from the website like Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, WHO and other authentic sources. And of course, the social media, WhatsApp, Facebook obviously amplifies the fear. For example, if you look at the coronavirus infection, we have come to know there are people who have committed suicide when they have been infected. Infected with coronavirus doesn't mean death. Please, you have to know the statistics. From one of the well-known information center, something called as World Meters, have clearly depicted a person in a given age group, what is the risk of dying if they are infected with COVID virus. For example, from the age of 20 to 60, the death rate is something around 1.3%. That means out of 100, hardly one person may die. And if you are the younger, the chances of dying is very less. So becoming more panic and attempting suicide is unwanted at this point of time. And the social media and the media has exaggerated the effect of coronavirus on the general public. Of course, we need to be safe. We need to take care of ourselves, but need not be panic or need not commit suicide when we get infected. The chances of you're going to be alive is 99%. Hardly 1% you're going to die. And if you look at the world statistic comparing everyone, the death rate doesn't cross more than 3 to 4%. So there is no need to commit suicide. You need to isolate yourself from the family members and public, and within 3 weeks you are out of the coronavirus infection and you will lead a normal, healthy life. During this, what we call it as coronavirus infection, you need to stay connected with the family members through virtual or maybe social networking. Use this social media for connectedness, not disconnectedness. Social media should help us to be together, not distancing, not create panic. But anyhow, we should use the social media responsibly and stay connected. Another important issue which occurs during pandemic is uncertainty. This uncertainty is the mother of all frustration. People prefer to have the certainty of misery than misery of uncertainty. For example, this uncertainty means uncertainty when the pandemic will be over, when the pandemic lockdown will be ended, when this isolation will be stopped, whether I will get infected or not, what will be happening to my family members, who will be alive, whether my friend is alive, who is going to be dying. These uncertainty causes severe anxiety among the family members and also to the general public. So to overcome this uncertainty and frustration, you should have to have some kind of scheduling, because during this uncertainty, you are locked down, you are at home, there is unorganization, there is no scheduling, there is chaos. You don't know whether today is Monday or Tuesday or Thursday or Wednesday. You don't know what to do from the morning to evening. So our brain is tuned to have scheduling. So now you have to again go into that mode. Keep your regular routines, make schedules, have your day, that what time I will get up, what time I will have food, what time I will work, what time I will not work, what time I will use social media. You have to be busy. Have some physical exercise at home. Relax. Do some yoga. Have prayer if you are spiritual. Do some spirituality. Sometimes even dancing, singing do help in mental health. And keep a regular sleep routine. That's very essential. Have healthy food, hydration. These do keep these what we call it as uncertainty at the door rather than entering into your mind. See, the other essential people who are going to be affected because of this pandemic is people with pre-existing mental illness. As per the National Mental Health Survey, which was done in 2014 and 15, it said 10% of the Indian population do have some or the other form of mental illness. These 10% who are already had mental illness before the pandemic will have relapse invariably because of stress, or else not availability of medicine, not going to the doctor for follow-up, and then stopping the medicine causes relapse. And these people need to watch on their relapses, signs and symptoms. If required, contact your psychiatrist and keep the medicine and don't stop the medicine. So that's very essential. The other set of group which are high risk of having one or the other mental illness is these people who are using substance like alcohol, tobacco, drugs. These people will have severe withdrawal because as there is a lockdown now, availability of these material will be very minimal, and sudden stoppage of these drugs will cause withdrawal, anxiety, fear, unable to sleep. Sometimes they may go into delirium, and this will cause a severe problem among this population. This substance use population, especially alcohol and other drugs, may fall around 4 to 5%. That's a huge number. That is around 5 crore population do require some or the other support, and they need to contact their psychiatrist or the what we call it as the medical personnel for help during this lockdown. And before you go to the hospital or take help of the psychiatrist, call the helpline. Every state has now come up with the helpline. Call them, discuss about your health problems, and if possible, take telemedicine consultation. And if possible, call your family members, doctors, friends, take some advice over the phone, and do not self-medicate. That is essential. Do not continue to use alcohol or drugs, because in the long term, this will have severe effect. The reason I'm telling you before you go to the hospital, do all these things. The reason is going to the hospital increases the risk of you developing coronavirus, because hospital means invariably the people with cough and people with fever would have been landing there, and you having other health problem going there and getting coronavirus infected is the least wanted at this point of time. Post-pandemic mental health. Afterwards, the pandemic will go. Definitely around 97 to 98% of people do survive, and we will have the same population here and there. 1% people will be missing. But the post-pandemic mental health, the studies from SARS and MERS, that is a previous infection, they have found that there will be increase in the mental health problem like depression, post-traumatic stress disorder, increase in alcohol use, tobacco. How much it increases? It increases up from the studies from various parts of the world has said from 20 to 40%. That's a huge number in India. So we need to keep an eye on these population where post-pandemic may increase in the what we call it as mental health problems. That may be because of isolation, that the experience we had because of quarantine, the stigma, discrimination, violence, grief. Some people would have died, my friend died, or a family member died, and along with these financial problems do add for the post-pandemic mental health. Basically, after the pandemic stops, these mental health issues do become amplified. And coming to the last part of my slide, empathizing with the healthcare workers and the police who are working during this pandemic. Their families under tremendous stress, and the people working in the pandemic are also under stress. Please do respect them. Honor these people who are working during this pandemic. They are not being housebound. They have to do 24/7 work, and they need your support. Please don't discriminate them. Don't stigmatize them, and do have respect to them. And to conclude, this is a very difficult scenario. The whole public is anxious, fearful. I do agree that these anxiety symptoms are common in everybody. You should know how to take care of yourself by doing yoga, scheduling your day, having routine, and maintaining this good sleep hygiene, having good food, definitely will help you. And please do stay connected with the family members. Use social media responsibly rather than spreading rumors. Thank you very much.